Ladies and addicts, Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the fucking internet. I've checked the entire internet, checked every single guide. I have read all of the internet. My guide is the best. This is the Kill Here and a Loser show. Let's fucking go. About 6 months ago, I did a video talking about giving up some of my addictions. So I was giving up porn, caffeine, video games, and alcohol. I did a 3-month update 3 months ago. This is the 6th-month update. I'm going to talk about each of the addictions, but I think the one that you guys will probably care about the most is porn addiction. It seems to be the one that the most guys struggle with for our sort of goals, or a lot of your guys' goals. Porn addiction gets in the way. Even for business goals and shit like that, porn addiction gets in the way. So I'll talk about that in a sec. I'll quickly fly through the other three because I know you guys give a shit about the porn one. So video games, completely fine. Haven't played video games for about 6 months now, so that's fucking easy mode. Nothing wrong with video games if you like video games yourself. And when I'm talking about these addictions, they are more my addictions. So they're things that I waste time or they get in the way of my productivity, or in the case of porn, they have an incredibly fucking detrimental effect on the rest of my life. So if you like video games, if video games are a healthy part of your fucking life, have at it. The one thing I would say is do not play video games until you've been productive for the day. That's the cheat code with, any sort of like video games or Netflix or YouTube or whatever the fuck you want to do. Don't do it in the morning. Be productive for the day. So, if you're working on business, do a shitload of business stuff for like, 6, 7, 8 hours. If you're working on getting laid, go and talk to a bunch of women, go on some dates, do all that kind of shit, and then put video games after that. So it's like a reward for having done your homework, so to speak. So don't play video games first. That's just procrastination. So fine. Next addiction is caffeine. So for a lot of people, caffeine is completely completely fine. For me, if I have too much caffeine, I crash. And so I said I want to go, a year without minimizing caffeine, removing it if I can, but minimizing it. So I have had plenty of caffeine. I've had it probably 20 days in the last 3 months. So that's more than I would have liked, but I've minimized the dose that I've had. So when I talk about minimizing, if I have caffeine, I have to have literally like a quarter of a coffee. I have to have like a couple of sips, and then that still makes me like jittery and energetic as if I'm not like that, already. But so caffeine I haven't completely removed, but I'm reasonably. That's not true. I would like to do less. So let's say over the next 3 months I do less caffeine. Maybe I have 3 times I have caffeine instead of fucking 20 or whatever it's been. What's next? Alcohol. So no alcohol. I had already gone a year with no alcohol when I started this. So I'm now at like basically a year and a half without alcohol. And that's just fucking amazing. That's genuinely fucking amazing. Then the first question I get from people or from guys is, but if you're not having alcohol, how are you getting laid? It's like every single one of my dates is during the daytime. I've been doing that for like 4 years at this point. I don't really have nighttime dates. I only meet in the daytime. You just go to Starbucks. You can go, there are plenty of bars and pubs and restaurants and stuff like that you can go to. Maybe not restaurants, but like pubs, bars that are open during the day. And you just let the girl have a drink. And sometimes my girlfriend Imogen will have a drink as well. And I'll just have like coffee, fuck me. You can tell I'm tired. Hey, it's 6 a.m. I just woke up. I'm fired up. I wanted to record this. My brain just isn't working. So start that whole fucking conversation again. We go to bars and pubs and shit like that during the day. The other girl and my girlfriend Imogen will have a drink, and I will have a diet fucking soft drink or a lemonade or water or something like that. Jesus, I'm fucking tired this morning. So that brings us to the main one, the one you guys actually give a shit about. How is porn going? So I'll be completely honest. For the first 2 months, I just used porn like I normally would. I reduced it relatively. Like I think I was looking at it about every 3 days, which for me is like amazing. I'm someone that my whole life has looked at porn like basically every single day. And if I can go 3 days, like that's amazing for me. And so for the first 2 months of this 3-month block that we're talking about now, I looked at it probably about like every 3 months, like I said. And then I got to a point where it was about 1 month out from doing this video, right? Like I knew I'm going to sit down and do a 6-month update in 1 month. And something clicked in my brain and I was like, I can't just come onto the podcast again and tell them, hey, I've been looking at porn again. Like, you guys are, to some extent, those of you who are watching this sort of like update series on how my, giving up porn and all that is going, a lot of you are trying to give up porn yourself, or you're giving up video games, or you're giving up alcohol. And I didn't think that it would feel very fucking good for me to come on here and be like, yeah, so I'm just still looking at porn. Fuck me, I guess. A lot of you guys want to see me succeed because it's going to give you permission to do it yourself. And so something fucking changed in my head, guys. I don't think I was that serious about giving up porn when I first said, I'm going to go a year without, I'm going to give up porn. I don't think I was fully all in. I didn't have that, what I call a fuck it moment, where you're like, fuck it, I'm doing it, fuck it. Like that kind of moment. And those fuck it moments have been pivotal for me with, making money and being able to pay the fucking bills from my coaching. I had a fuck it moment. I tried to pay the bills through this shit for about 2 years and I couldn't. I had debts, I had this, I couldn't sleep and all of that. And I got to some point where I was just like, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm sick of being fucking on the verge of homelessness. I'm sick of stressing. I'm sick of only getting 3 hours sleep. Fuck this. Fuck it. I'm going to make money. And then 2 months later, I could pay the bills. With getting girls, I went through a long fucking period where I'd have some success, no success, some success, no success. And I just had this fuck it moment when I got friend zoned by like the 50 millionth chick. We went on like 3 dates and she friend zoned me. And I was like, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of going on dates and not knowing if they want to sleep with me. I'm sick of all that tension and anxiety of like, is she going to date me? Is she going to ghost me? Fuck it. Fuck it. And that was when I did the 50 Shades of Grey shit on my Tinder. I put up some BDSM pictures on my Tinder, changed my bio. I started looking for BDSM. I had no idea what the fuck BDSM even was. But in my mind, I was like, well, 50 Shades of Grey. Women love 50 Shades of Grey. Maybe I can just put out that 50 Shades of Grey shit. And it worked. It fucking worked. So that was my fuck it moment. And a month ago with this porn shit, I had a fuck it moment. And it was thanks to you guys. I'm really grateful to you guys. This is, by the way, why I recommend that you put some sort of like declaration or announcement or accountability if you're going to give up a vice. Tell people. Tell as many people as you fucking can. I told like everyone in my life that I'm giving up porn. I even told my fucking mother, like, I want to reduce my porn consumption. And so having that accountability, it really made me have that sort of fuck it moment where I was like, fuck it. I'm going to fucking do this. And I've also been blessed to have watched one of my best mates, probably my best fucking mate. He's currently on 15 weeks without porn, which is the longest he's ever gone in his entire life. And he started that because I said I'm going to give up porn. And so watching him get to 15 weeks was, I just had that feeling of like, fuck it, what am I doing? Fuck it, I'm going to do this. And so I'm very fucking proud to say I'm about I don't know the exact date. It's somewhere between 3 to 4 weeks porn free at this point. Might be 4, might be 3, somewhere in there. And that is by far the longest I have gone in at least the last like 12 years or something. Maybe since I was like 14 when I first started looking at porn. So fucking maybe 20 years. And holy shit, guys. I know you guys are going to say like, how has it been? If I'm trying to give up porn myself, what is it going to get me? Holy fuck. It's life-changing. Like, I knew that I had a porn addiction. I knew that it was affecting my relationship with my girlfriend Imogen. I knew it was affecting the other girls that we see together, the girls that we sleep with together. I knew it was affecting my motivation. I knew it was affecting my, ability to connect with other human beings, even friends and shit. But I didn't realize until until you get clear of an addiction, you don't see the effect that it's having on your life. And holy fucking shit. I don't even know where to start. I had this long conversation with Imogen like last night, which is why I wanted to record this for you, because I was just kind of going through a lot of realizations with her. And I was like, holy shit, honey. I don't think I realized I was doing any of this. So I don't even know where to start. I'm probably going to forget half of the shit that we talked about because I talked for like an hour with her last night. There were so many fucking realizations of how porn has like fucked me and how different it is now. I think the biggest one is motivation. Like motivation, like getting up in the morning and just wanting to do shit instead of that feeling of like, maybe I should look at porn, and then, I don't want to look at porn. It's going to sap my energy. It's going to, I should be doing podcasts. I got this, like, I'm currently working on like a video course of how to have threesomes and shit like that. It's going to be a paid video course, and that's taking a lot of time and energy. And I was procrastinating and putting it off and going like, man, this video course is so fucking big. It's hard. It's effort. It's really fucking hard making a long video course, by the way. It's a lot of fucking effort. Like the Tinder guide I wrote, the free Tinder guide I wrote, fuck me, man. That was like 4 months of just continuous writing. And so when you have a big project like that, what do you want to do, guys? What do we all want to do when we have a big fucking mountain to climb? We want to procrastinate. We want to go to our fucking addictions and self-medicate. And so I would have this kind of like pull and push and pull and push of like, should I look at porn? No, I have to do my guide. Oh, but I want to. Oh, but like I owe it to my fucking audience to do podcasts. Oh, but like, but like I have to, fucking reply to my group coaching clients. Oh, but porn. And so I would spend time in this fucking limbo. I fucking hate the limbo where your addiction is calling out to you and you don't want to do it. But because it's distracting you, you don't actually work on, business, girls, friends, going outside, whatever the fuck it is you're trying to work on, your university studies, whatever it is. You're in this fucking limbo where you don't do the addiction, but you also don't work on anything productive. And you're just sitting on the couch fucking in limbo, in hell, doing nothing, literally wasting your fucking life. And what do you do? Nine times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, I would choose to go to the addiction because at least then it's over. And my girlfriend Imogen has talked about the same shit. For those of you who don't know, she had I guess you could still say she does. I don't know. She had a binge eating disorder where she would like want to just fucking binge eat and then she'd want to, fucking make herself throw up. Bulimia. She hasn't done the bulimia part of it for about like 3 years, so she fixed that, but she still gets tempted to binge eat. And she's talked about the same shit. It's like I'm sitting there wanting to fucking binge eat, wanting to self-medicate. I have a couple of like coaching clients actually who also self-medicate with binge eating. So it's a lot more common than I think people talk about. If you're sitting there like fucking stuffing your face full of junk food to feel better, that's basically a binge eating disorder. So she would sit there in that limbo of like, I want to binge eat, but I can't, but I want to, but I shouldn't, but I want to, but I don't want to, like not doing anything, like not being productive, but also not fucking doing the addiction and just sitting there like delaying almost the inevitable. She would always say to me, it's like it was inevitable. I knew I would eventually binge eat, and so it was inevitable. I felt the same way with porn, guys. I've always felt the same way with porn. I would sit there in that fucking limbo, knowing in the back of my mind, eventually I am going to look at porn. Maybe not now, maybe not today, maybe not even tomorrow, but definitely the day after. I could never go more than like 3 days. If I ever went 5 days without porn, that was God tier to me. I think I've only ever done that like 30 times in my entire fucking life, gone 5 days. And so I had this feeling of like, it's inevitable. I'm going to look at porn again. Like I'm going to get there. And I mean, now that I even say that, I'm going to go off on a side tangent here. Now that I even say that statement of like, it always felt inevitable, it doesn't feel inevitable now. And you don't understand. I can't get that across on this fucking video, how beautiful that is. That right now at this point in time, yes, it's only been 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the fuck it's been. I don't feel like porn is inevitable. I feel like I can go a year. I feel like I am going to go a year. And I know what this feeling feels like because I felt the same with my alcoholism. I got to a point of like about 4 weeks and I was like, I think I'm going to make the whole year. And I did. It's now 1.5 years. I got to the same point with video games where I was like, yeah, I'm not going to play video games. I don't need them. And I did. And so, I'm 6 months off video games. So, but the point is, you don't understand how fucking magnificent and life-changing that alone is for me. That feeling of like, I'm not going to watch this. Like, maybe I will in the distant future. I don't think so. I think I would like to give it up for life. Or if I watch it, I think I would like it to only be for like research purposes. And what I mean by that is I would watch it with my girlfriend and we wouldn't do it in a sexual way. We'd just look up like kinks or something for us to try. And it wouldn't be watching videos because that shit is too stimulating for me. It would be like looking up fucking nude pictures and different BDSM fetishes, different kinks, like what shit can you try in the bedroom, more as a research thing. And I would need to make sure that I was doing it with her so it wasn't like feeding into the addiction. But I think I can go a fucking long time at this point. I'm quite comfortable saying I'm going to make 1 year. If I renege on that, like if I end up watching porn, like fucking strike me down, guys, because I genuinely feel at this point I don't have that inevitable feeling of like I'm inevitably going to do this, which is amazing. Because now I can be infinitely more productive. I don't sit there on the fucking couch wanting to do a podcast or wanting to do write something or write an article or whatever, knowing that I'm going to eventually give in. And it's like that push-pull of like, oh, fuck, should I? Oh, fuck, I don't want to. Now it's just like, yeah, I'm going to write my fucking articles. You have no idea how much more productive I have been over the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it's been. I really should fucking go back and check like when I last, I don't know how I'd see when I last looked. But yeah, it's been fucking amazing for productivity. So any of you that are thinking of quitting porn, that you have a really bad porn addiction, it will make you infinitely more productive. Because it's not even the time you waste looking at porn. I could talk about that. I used to look at porn for like 5 hours a day, and I would edge myself, or I would just not jerk off, but just watch it and like waste fucking 5 hours a day, every like second or third day. Look at how much fucking time that is. But it's even more insidious than that. Is those moments where, like I said, you're in that limbo and you're pulled towards it, but you don't do it. And it's like, I would waste like fucking 3 hours a day on that shit of like trying not to. And I would almost need other forms of self-medication to stop. I'd have to do deep breathing. Not that deep breathing is, I'm talking about like I would need healthy forms of self-medication. I'd have to go for a walk. I'd have to meditate. I'd have to hang out with my friends. And I love doing that stuff, but I was only doing that stuff so that I didn't look at porn. What I wanted to be doing was something fucking productive, a podcast, writing an article, doing a video, like something, you know what I mean? So that alone is amazing, but I think the thing you guys are going to care about the most is the sexual performance. I think a lot of you guys will care about the sex performance. Like, holy fuck, my dick is just like, I didn't know my dick used to get this hard. And I forgot what it's like to have fucking morning wood every day. Like, I would still get morning wood sometimes. Every fucking day now, I wake up with a fucking like, I know you guys don't want to hear about my dick, but fuck you. Like, my dick is just like, it hurts. It hurt. Like, it actually is painful. Like, actually hurts. I haven't felt that feeling in like fucking 10 years where it hurts. And like, you have to like punch it or something. Like, literally, I have to punch my dick. I'm not even fucking joking. I wake up and I have to like punch my dick. Not like fucking hard, but like just whack it and be like, go down. Like, stop. What are you doing? And like, it'll stay up for like fucking 20 minutes. Do I take a piss and then I'm still fucking hard? I've had so many mornings where I just text Imogen and I'm like, I can't fucking handle this. You got to come over. And she'll come over and it's just like, I have to fuck the shit out of her. It's like I need her. I'm like, you got to fucking come here, bitch. Like, I got a fucking problem. I should also say I haven't jerked off at all. I'm not against jerking off. I wanted to give up my porn addiction, not necessarily jerking off. But at this point in time, I think porn and jerking off are so tied together for me. Imogen asked me last night, do you think you could jerk off? Like, could you just jerk off to release the pressure? And I was like, I don't even know how I would jerk off without porn. I basically have never in my life jerked off without porn. And that sounds messed up to someone who isn't like that tied together with porn. I don't even know how to jerk off without porn. Like, literally, I don't know how I would even do it. So maybe one day I'll fucking figure out how to jerk my fucking dickie off without looking at porn. But for now, I'm quite happy to just have my sexual release be with her and the girls that we date together. I'm quite happy with that. And even that in itself has just been like amazing. The fact that I'm not jerking off means that I've had to learn to deal with my sexual energy. I've had to transmute it into other things. I've had to use it as a force for good. Normally, as soon as I get horny, I would jerk off. I would look at porn within a couple of hours of starting to get horny. So I never had a time of walking around just being horny. Like, ever. I know that sounds really fucking insane, but I've never actually just walked around fucking horny for more than like half a day before I go home and jerk off. And so just like when you're eventually working on your body and you want to lose weight and shit like that, you have to deal with hunger. You have to get used to hunger. Eventually the hunger fades away and it's just like a thing in the background. You're like, yeah, I'm hungry. I don't care. Like, it doesn't force you or compel you to eat. But in the first couple of weeks, it can be very like strong. Like, oh my God, I want to eat. I'm hungry. I'm starving. Until your brain realizes, no, you're not starving, dude. You just have a bit of hunger, but you're okay. You're not going to die. The same thing has happened with porn or with like my horniness, I should say. It's like I'm horny all the fucking time, but my brain is just like, yeah, that's fine. You're a male. You're supposed to be horny all the fucking time. You haven't fucked anyone today. Of course you're horny. And so that has just been really fucking beautiful to like, this is going to sound like women talk. This is going to sound feminine. And I don't even mean that in a bad way, but like, it's like I've gotten in touch with my body, right? Like literally I've maybe I shouldn't say that sounds feminine because fucking Stoics talk about that. Fucking like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius talk about getting in touch and fucking, who was the guy? Was it Plato or Socrates who said every man should know the beauty, every man should lift weights and like, or should, work out and know the beauty of which his body is capable of. I think it was like fucking Socrates or someone in the comments, write a comment and tell me who that was. Plato, Socrates, one of those cunts. One of those old Greek fucking smart cunts. I'm figuring that out myself now with my masculinity, my fucking sex drive. I'm like, holy shit, I'm capable of being fucking horny. I'm capable of like just fucking wanting to fuck the shit out of everything. Like, this is amazing. Because, like I said, I've learned to transmute that. It's like when I'm fucking horny, I will look at hot girls in the gym and I'll be like, man, I want to fuck the shit out of her. I'm going to lift this weight 10 times fucking harder. I'm going to destroy this fucking barbell. Because then I might get to fuck, my monkey brain is like, I get to fuck her. If I'm big and strong, I get to fuck her. And so I'm like looking at all the girls in the gym going like, you're making me work out 10 times harder. I never had that before. I could make myself do that. I could talk myself into checking them out. But now it's like, I can't stop myself from checking them out. We will go out in public. Like I'll go out with my girlfriend Imogen and I'm just walking around. I'm like, man, like I'm literally, I'll say to her like, God damn, these girls are fucking hot. And she's like, yeah, they are very, whenever you tell, for those of you who don't know, my girlfriend's bisexual. We sleep with girls together. So, you know, I tell her that I'm checking girls out in public and stuff. But for those of you who don't know, when you tell a girl that, like, when you say, like, that girl over there is so fucking hot, I want to fuck her. Most girls will always say, like, yeah, she's pretty. Like, girls don't talk like we do. They don't say, like, yeah, I want to fuck her. Even, like, a bisexual girl like my girlfriend, they don't say, like, yeah, I want to fuck the shit out of her. They just say, she's really nice. She looks lovely. So you're like, man, I want to fuck all these girls. And she's like, yeah, they are lovely. And so, anyway. The fucking yin and the yang, the feminine energy versus the masculine energy. Masculine is like, I want to fuck everything. I want to fucking do shit. I want to build it. And women are just like, everything is lovely and nice and pretty and sweet. So, yeah, just having that fucking energy. And my God, like, this is the part you guys are probably going to care the most about, the actual sex. Sex with her is like, I said to her last night, like, holy fuck, sex with you is like 100 times better. I find myself just enjoying what actually is, as in, you know, enjoying her body for what it is, enjoying her moans for what they are, enjoying the way my dick feels inside her, the way her pussy feels around me, the wetness, the tightness, like enjoying how it feels to kiss her, enjoying the sensations. I wasn't doing any of that shit before. And I didn't realize I wasn't doing it until I have this gap of no fucking porn. All of a sudden, it's like I'm actually fucking present with her. I thought I was present before. I genuinely thought I was like good at sex, and I'm good at like I'm good at like knowing what to do. I'm good at having fucking moves, and that just comes with practice. If you're not good at sex, don't worry, just practice. But I wasn't fully there. Like I wasn't fully all in with the sex. I wasn't committed. I was always in the back of my brain. I wasn't thinking of porn. Like I wasn't thinking of other girls or anything, but I was thinking of like sexual stuff from porn. So I was thinking like, oh, I got to fuck her doggy style now because that's hot. I got to spank her. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to fucking spit in her mouth. I got to fucking slap her face. I got to do this. I got to choke her. I got to... And by the way, don't do any of that kinky shit if you've never done it before. Work up to it slowly, right? Don't just fucking slap your girl during sex. But I always had to do the kinky sex. And I love kinky sex. I think I will always fucking love kinky sex. Like, it's hot as shit. But I feel like I now don't need it to get hard. It's more like spice or sprinkling on top that makes sex even more fun. But before, I required it to even get an erection. Like, if we were just going to have gentle, like, vanilla sex, like just normal sex, right? Like missionary, maybe a bit of doggy style, but like nothing too kinky. If we were even going to do that, I would need to, in my mind, like, spice it up with some sort of kink. Like, I couldn't just have normal sex. It would be boring. I'd be like, what's the point? What's the point of my dick going in a woman? And it was even at that point with the threesomes that we were having. Like, so I would have, picture this. 2 fucking hot naked girls in my bed, right? Moaning for me, begging for me, please daddy, like, please can I have your fucking dick? Like, making out with each other. Think about how insanely hot that sounds, right? Like 2 girls making out with each other, then turning to you and begging for your fucking dick and fighting over your dick. No, please, can I have it? No, please, I want it. No, please, no, give it to me. Like, think about how much that would fucking turn you on. But it was getting to a point where even that was not kinky enough. Like, I could get it up, I could perform, but it was like I was going through the motions sometimes. And especially, you know, I hate to say it, but whatever, it's the fucking truth. I've told Imogen this, especially if she and I had sex together, which, you know, probably about, I don't know, 75% of the time we fuck is just her and I, obviously. And those were like, it was just not enough for me. I could do it. I felt like I had some like manly duty to her. Like, you know, part of a relationship is you obviously fuck each other, but I felt like I was doing it a lot of the time out of like honoring her, or like, you know, I owe it to her. She deserves this, rather than I want to do it. Now, and I'm only like, you know, like I said, like 3.5, maybe 4, somewhere in there, weeks free of porn. I want to fuck her all the fucking time. Are you kidding me? It's like I would just see her and I want to fuck the shit out of her. Like, holy fuck. And then when we have a threesome, it's like amazing. And I find myself more present in the threesomes, obviously more present with her. I'm looking into her eyes more. I'm looking into the other girl's eyes more. When it's just Imogen and I, it's like we're fully there together. I'm not thinking about kinks. I'm not wishing I was somewhere else. And I think that's if you leave this video with one thing, it's when we look at porn too much, like when we watch too much porn, then when we actually have sex, we are wishing we were somewhere else. And every single one of you is going to know what I'm talking about here. If you have a porn addiction, when you're fucking a girl in real life, she's right there with you, you know, you're being intimate and all that shit, you're wishing you were somewhere else. You're wishing that this was a little more like porn. You're wishing she was a little kinkier. Sometimes, you know, I hate to say it, but you wish she had bigger boobs, a tighter pussy, wetter pussy, moaned louder, cuter face, little less weight, maybe a little more weight, bigger booty, smaller booty. You're wishing for the shit that you had seen in porn. Even if you didn't want her to physically change, you're wishing she would be a little kinkier. Or you're wishing you could just play out some of the shit that you've seen in porn. And I fucking hate that that was my reality. That's been my reality for the last like 10 or so years. Or 20 years. I don't even know how long it's been at this point. I think I started porn when I was like 14. I don't know how long it's affected me for. Probably the whole time. If I'm honest, probably the whole time. And so, you know, it's been a revelation to actually enjoy sex again. Like, I don't think I've ever just enjoyed sex in my entire life, because I was watching porn for 5 years before I even had sex for the first time. I was a virgin till 19. I was looking at porn at 14. And so guys, I can't even begin. Like, I literally am lost for words. It's amazing. And I'm barely scratching the surface of everything that's changed. I'm sure the next update video I do in 3 months is going to be even more amazing, but it's like I'm just present. When I have sex, I'm just there, and I don't need all the kinks. The kinks are fun, like we still do the kinks, obviously, but each kink, it's like I can explore it more deep. And even before, so when I was looking at porn a lot before, when we were exploring kinks in the bedroom, like let's say you have a girl tied up, you're spanking her. While I'm spanking her, my mind is already living in the future. I'm already bored of the spanking. I'm literally in the middle of spanking going like, oh, this is boring. What should I do next? I don't have that anymore. I'm there, I'll spank her and she'll moan, and I'll watch her body react, and I'll say, how was that? Like, was that good? Did you enjoy that? She's like, oh, you're harder. And I'll do it a bit harder. I'll be like, how was that? Like, I'm more fucking there. I'm paying more attention to her body. I get more fucking turned on. On that note, god damn, guys, like the other day we had a girl over and we did a bunch of like photos and shit. We did a photo shoot. I'm going to post it on my website. So it'll be on killyourintheloser.com. It's not going to be out by the time I do this. I'll post it in the next like week or two. And we did a bunch of photos. She's cool with me posting the photos. She's got an OnlyFans, so she's going to put the photos on her shit. I'm going to put the photos on my website. But we did a bunch of photos. Really good fucking photos. We did a like really artistic photo shoot. And there was one point where I said to them, all right, you guys get together on the couch, like start making out, and I'll just take photos, and like we'll get a good photo, and you know, I'll Photoshop, I'll make it amazing, you know, edit it, all that shit. And so we took this like really good photo of them kissing. And normally kissing itself, it's sexy to me, but it's not like a huge turn on. But I was editing the fucking photo. When I say editing, I mean like adding filters and, you know, changing, like fixing the lighting and stuff like that. And so I'm editing this fucking photo. And I'm just like, my dick is like rock fucking hard from a photo. A photo of two girls that I've already had sex with. So it's like, it's not like extra because, you know, you're always going to be more stimulated by porn because it's new and novel and fresh and you haven't seen the girls before. But I'm looking at this, I'm just like fucking painfully hard. Like, I literally have to like push my fucking dick down. I had to take breaks. I only edited the fucking photo for like 10 minutes, but I literally had to take fucking breaks. And I texted Imogen, I was like, editing this photo like legitimately made me hard. Like 2 or 3 times, I'd take a break and then I'd come back and I'd be hard again. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's never happened before. Like, ever. Like, just seeing a photo of my girl kissing another girl, like, made me fucking hard. Let alone when I was actually taking the fucking my dick's just like hurting and I'm like, god damn, this is fucking, that shit's never happened before. I was so like, dulled or numbed by all the porn that watching two girls make out in front of me wasn't enough to turn me on. Like, it would kind of turn me on, but it didn't make me like, holy fuck, hard. Like I said, I never had morning fucking wood, like barely ever. Like, I wasn't walking around horny all fucking day. And now, by the way, if I fuck, like, you know, I fucked Imogen yesterday, day before, and like immediately the next day, later that fucking day, I'm horny again, let alone the next day. The next day, it's like I didn't even fuck yesterday. I'm just like ready to go again. That's never happened before. I had desensitized my dick by like jerking off too much. So it was literally physically desensitized, let alone all the hormones and shit in my head, all the receptors in my head, all the fucking neurochemicals and shit. I had messed that shit up so much that if I had sex or jerked off or whatever, I wasn't horny until like 3 days later. Like I said, now I'm horny later the same fucking day, even with good sex, even if we make the sex last for hours and hours and hours and I edge myself during sex and all of that. So it's like a huge fucking release. Like, I'm still horny, like definitely later in the day, but even like fucking half an hour later, I'm like, God damn, I'm still fucking horny. What the hell? Let alone the next day. The next day, it's like I said, like I didn't even fuck yesterday. I'm just like ready to go again. You have to understand, this shit is not normal for me. Like, and I mean that in a good way. This is amazing. This is like I'm rediscovering what my fucking body is capable of. And I used to have this like idea in my head that like the reason I'm not horny anymore is because I'm 34. You know, I'm middle-aged. 34 is not fucking middle-aged, but you know, you get my point. Maybe my testosterone is shit. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe when you're old, you don't get morning wood anymore. I had a fucking porn addiction. That's why I couldn't fucking get hard. And now that that's gone, I feel like I'm fucking 18 again. I wasn't okay, I was pretty horny at 18, I'll be honest. But like, I think I'm like as horny as when I was 18. Maybe more so because I'm not just going and jerking off like I was at 18. I'm like as sexually charged now at 30 fucking 4 when I'm supposed to not be horny anymore because I'm old, supposedly. Like, fuck me. I thought that this was just like, oh, you're 34. No, I had a fucking porn addiction. Like, holy fucking shit. And if this is what's happened after 3.5, 4 weeks, like, oh my God, I can't even imagine where I'll be at the next time I do one of these videos, like in 3 months' time. Like, holy fucking shit, guys. Like, this is a revelation, guys. I knew my porn addiction was bad. I didn't know it was this bad. And, you know, I felt more loving with Imogen, more close to her, more kind to her. I am more patient. I don't care about her imperfections. There you go. I haven't even talked about that. I was so nitpicky with her imperfections, and I wouldn't, you know, I told her a couple of them, but it was like, and I don't want this to sound like I'm just sitting there like criticizing Imogen all the time. No, that's not what our relationship is like. But it's more like I had less patience before. So if she ever did something I didn't like, I'd have to like, I wouldn't say to her like, hey, you know, you should stop doing that. Because, you know, I'm not the kind of person that I'm a libertarian at heart. I don't like to fucking change people. But I would have to like meditate and deep breathe and be like, don't get mad at her. You love her. Stop. You're the one that's being impatient. Like, calm down. Like, I don't have to do that shit anymore. It's like I love her wholeheartedly. Like, deeply. I even feel that way with other girls that we see. Like, not that I fucking love them, but like, I'm less fussy. Okay, here's a really good fucking example. So, the girl that we did the photo shoot with a couple of days ago is just an absolute fucking sweetheart of a human being. I'm gonna write a full write-up on my website, like, and talk about it, because she's just a fucking sweetheart of a person. She really is. She's like 18, really innocent. She's just fucking adorable. She's a really nice person. And so we had sex, and it's pretty fucking good sex, but there was a couple of things that she didn't like. So she wasn't comfortable going down on Imogen, like licking Imogen's pussy. She wasn't comfortable giving me a blowjob. Like, in fact, she freaked out. Like, literally fucking crawled up and freaked out. Not when I got my dick out, but like Imogen started giving her a blowjob, and then I gently pulled her head towards me, and she kind of freaked out. And then, you know, we paused, and I was like, hey, like, you all right? And she's like, look, like, some stuff happened to me when I was younger, and like, is it okay if I don't do blowjobs or lick your pussy? And we were like, yeah, sweetie, of course. Like, you know, I'm not going to make you do this. Obviously, over time, we'll talk to her. If we keep seeing her, we will keep seeing her. But if we see her enough times, we'll talk to her about that. We'll get her to open up. You know, a lot of this stuff you have a resistance to, and then, you know, you talk through it and you feel better. Like, I don't want her to go her whole life with being scared of like giving a blowjob or licking a pussy or something. That doesn't seem like healthy to me. Anyway, that's a separate fucking discussion. Yeah, so she had that freak out. And she also had a huge aversion to like cum and to pussy juice. And I licked her pussy at one point, and then I went to kiss her, and she didn't want to kiss me. And she said like, I'm sorry, I just like, I'm a little freaked out by like the taste of pussy juice. And we kind of know why. She's hinted at what it is. And it wasn't so much like childhood trauma. It was more that she had a shit experience with a couple of like a guy and a girl that were just like unclean. And I've met some girls like that didn't want to give a blowjob because they'd had a really fucking horrible experience with a guy that just like, I don't know, didn't wash his dick or some shit. And like they almost fucking threw up. And most of the time, if you just are really patient and you talk to them about it over the space of like, I don't know, fucking 10 times that you see them, every single one of them eventually gives it a try. But you have to understand, they've been through a horrible fucking experience. And so I really fucking get it. I really fucking empathize with that shit. That sounds fucking awful. But the point is, that would normally be, in the past, a deal breaker to me. Like, I fucking love blowjobs. One of my biggest fetishes is girls that are obsessed with my cum, that beg for it, that swallow it, that take it on their face, that want it, that like need it. Imogen is like absolutely like that. Most of the girls that we see are like that. And it's like my biggest fucking fetish, probably because I saw it in porn so much, right? And, the money shot. And so, she had these things that normally would be literally that would normally be a deal breaker to me. If a girl didn't want to lick Imogen's pussy and didn't want to give me a blowjob and didn't want my cum, and didn't even want to kiss me after I lick her pussy, that would normally be a deal breaker to me. I'd just be like, yeah, no, that's too many deal breakers. But it was afterwards, after we saw her, we had all this sex, we had a great time. I ended up coming on Imogen and she loved watching that. So she just doesn't want to taste cum rather than, she's afraid of it or some shit. But we go through all this. We hang out with her for a bit longer. We drive her back to, her house and shit like that. We had a great fuck. We stopped by some restaurant. We got like fucking, meat pies. If you guys know what meat pies are in America, right? You have meat pies. My international audience will know what meat pies are. You British people will know what a fucking meat pie is. So we had meat pies, had a great fucking night. Say goodbye to her, give her a hug. She's an absolute sweetie. She sends us a text. We're going to see her again. And it was not until like last night that it clicked when I was talking with Imogen. I was like, holy shit. Like this girl who is an absolute sweetheart. And guys, like when you see the report, like when I write up what the night we had, you're going to say like, this girl's just like the sweetest, most kindest, genuinely lovely little human being of all time. She's really little too. She's like fucking 5'1". She's just a little fucking sweetheart. I felt like weird that in the past I would have just ditched her. I would have sent her a message and be like, hey, sorry, not feeling the chemistry. Like, let's not go any further. Basically don't want to see you again. And like, she's the nicest fucking person. And I realized that I was only having those deal breakers because I was trying to chase a fucking high all the time. Every girl that we've ever seen, even Imogen as well, I have been comparing them to porn. And so I've been searching for the girl who ticks every single box. She has to have a perfect body. She can't have a single fucking ounce of fat on her. I really like fucking lean chicks, like skinny girls. I'm just all about that life, that skinny girl life. You show me a fucking stick figure chick, oh, I'm all about that life. I like curves, I like a bit of hips, but there can't be I fucking love skinny chicks. But even my tolerance for that has gone up. Like this chick is really fucking skinny, but like there's another girl that we're seeing that has like a little bit of, you guys would say she's lean. You guys would say, Imogen even says, like, this girl's skinny. Why are you saying she has, like, fat on her? I had unrealistic fucking standards, and I can only see that now that I'm clear of, like, porn. Because my biggest fucking search, my biggest, like, addiction on porn was, like, on Pornhub and shit, was, like, skinny girls, lean girls, fit girls, tiny girls, small girls, petite girls, like, really fucking stick figure girls, like, flat-chested girls, tiny tit girls. Like, I like big titties, but I prefer small, perky, fucking tiny girls. And so small booties. Like I would literally search for like flat ass, small booty, tiny girl. And I had unrealistic fucking standards because I was chasing that high of like the skinniest fucking girl that I could ever fucking find. And then when we would meet a girl in real life who's like, I'm literally talking about she has like 3 pounds of fat on her, maybe 5 pounds of fat at the most. You guys would say like she's skinny. Imogen would say like, Andy, she's skinny as hell. What the fuck are you talking about? But in my mind, I'd be like, yeah, but she's not as skinny as porn. I even did it to Imogen. I'd be like, you have to be like literally I have to see your fucking abs 24/7. You have to just be perfect. I was doing it with myself. So like this shit doesn't even just apply to other women. I myself was like, I'm an ugly fat piece of shit. Like I don't have my abs right now because I'm currently like bulking and adding mass. Like, wow, I'm disgusting. I had so fucking such unrealistic expectations of what other human beings should look like because of fucking porn. And I'm sure so many of you can relate to that. Maybe you like big booties, maybe like big titties. And you look at a girl who just looks like a normal fucking girl and you're like, yeah, but she doesn't have like double D's. Or she doesn't have the world's thickest ass. She just has a normal human fucking ass. Not realizing that half of porn is fake as fuck. They have butt implants. They have definitely tit implants. They are on fucking horrible diets so they can be lean. All the guys that we compare ourselves to. Look at this guy fucking these girls with such veracity, viscosity, voluptuous. I'm just coming up with stupid words now. Look at this guy with a big fucking dick fucking the shit out of these girls. Not realizing he's injected his fucking dick. Go and look this up. They inject, half of the guys inject their fucking dick, as in stab a fucking needle in their cock to make it hard. Let alone all the Viagra and Prilogy and Cialis and all the other tablets they have to fucking take. Half these cunts inject their fucking dick. Stop and think about that for a second. And we're just comparing ourselves to that shit. It's such an unrealistic, like, high. Like, you're chasing a high when you try and be like porn. You really are. And so I was chasing this high with girls. I really was, with Imogen, with the other girls that we see. And anytime she had any little imperfection, like, you know, this girl having a fear of fucking blowjobs or licking pussy because of some shit that happened to her in the past, or some like bad experiences she had with like people that didn't fucking wash their cock, right? I would like because of that in the past, I'd go like, nope, she's not perfect. She's not a 10. She doesn't tick every box. I was even doing it with like physical qualities. Like I said, I was saying these girls aren't perfect. They're not lean. Like, so I can't fucking have sex with them. We can't date them. We can't do photo shoots with them. I can't get them on the podcast. I've done that so many times. You guys have no idea how many times I have wanted to get a girl on the podcast and then just gone like, yeah, but she's got 2 pounds of fat. Like literally some of these girls are so fucking skinny, but then I'll go, yeah, but her nose is too big, or this or that. I've told one of my friends, fucking radical, you know, I've mentioned this to you before, brother, that like, I've had these thoughts of like with Imogen. I've had these fucking thoughts with Imogen, guys, and it's not. I'm being really fucking honest and vulnerable here, but like I've literally had these thoughts where I'm like, man, Imogen is not as attractive as she should be to be on my podcast. I've had the thoughts about myself too, so I'm not as attractive as I should be. I'm too fat right now. I've said that on podcast. I've said I feel really fat right now. I don't feel good sitting in front of the camera. You know what I mean? This is like the especially with Imogen. This is the human being who has, I'm going to do a video soon on all the shit that she's done over the last 4 years to like be my fucking ride or die. You guys have no idea how much shit she has done because I don't always talk about it. I tell her a million times a day how grateful I am for all of it, but like I haven't sat down and done a video of everything she's fucking done. So I'm going to sit down and do that. And I think that'll be a useful video for a lot of you so you can kind of see the qualities that you might want to find in like a long-term relationship. But you know, this is the person who's been my ride or die for 4 years, who has gone through fucking hell with me. And she's put on a little bit of weight, not even a fucking lot. She's lost it now anyway. But she had put on some weight over 2020 and 2021 because of all the fucking lockdowns and moving 4 times and masks and our government in Australia going completely batshit. I fucking put on weight too. I got fucking fat and lost all my muscles. So, but I will look at her and I will go, she's not good enough. She's not perfect. She shouldn't be on camera. Like, do you understand how fucked up a thing that is to think? And like, I'm not angry at myself because I was in the throes of an addiction. So I've forgiven myself for it. But God fucking damn it, guys. Like, God fucking damn it. The person who's been by your side for 4 years, who's been the most loyal to you, who would take a fucking bullet for you in a heartbeat and has done shit like that to, she hasn't taken a bullet, but actually, hey, no, we went fucking like air rifle, airsoft. We don't have airsoft here, but we have like a alternative version. She took a lot of bullets. Fuck, man, I shot the shit out of her. That was fun. I had fucking bruises on my, anyway, it's a sidetrack. Airsoft fucking hurts, guys. Almost as much as paintball. But this bitch would take a fucking bullet for me. We've been together for like 4 and a bit years at this point. I think it's coming up on 4 years, actually. You know, like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I would have thoughts of like, she's not perfect enough to be on my podcast. I would have those thoughts during sex. Man, I wish she could just do this. I wish like stupid shit that I don't even give a shit about now. I genuinely don't give a shit about now. But it's like, because I was chasing that high of like, she has to tick every box. And like I said, this sweetheart girl that we just saw, the 18-year-old we saw a couple of days ago, you know, me thinking like, man, she doesn't want to give me a blowjob. So like, well, that's a deal breaker. Like, that's what I would have thought in the past. Whereas here, like I said, I didn't even realize, I didn't have that thought. It wasn't until like then a couple days later that I was like, man, fuck, I think that shit would have been a deal breaker for me before, but I wasn't even thinking of it. I'm actually literally just thinking of the next time we fuck her because she's really hot. It's like I was so cock blocked by my own like deal breakers or my own perfectionist mindset, like chasing that high, wanting every girl to be perfect. I was so distracted by that I was like ignoring all of their positive qualities. I wasn't seeing the positive qualities in any woman. Okay, I was seeing some of the, I was seeing, I wasn't seeing all of the positive qualities, right? I was so distracted by the negatives. I was obsessed with the like, she doesn't have double D, she only has C cups. Or this girl isn't like super lean, she has like maybe 5 pounds of fat to lose, which is like fucking nothing. You can lose 5 pounds of fat in like 5 weeks. It's nothing. It's like, it's no fucking way. But in my mind, I was like, yeah, no, that's not perfect though. I'm looking for a perfect girl. Because when the problem was when I was looking at porn, I would do what a lot of you fucking guys do, maybe all of us. I wouldn't just watch one video and jerk off. I'd watch the video, oh, it's not quite perfect. I need a leaner girl. I would go and find a leaner girl. Nope, she's not lean enough. Okay, I need to go with bigger tits. I'd go find that. Oh, fuck yeah, but she's a brunette. I like blondes. Oh, fuck, she's a blonde. No, actually, I think I like brunettes better. Fuck, no, I like redheads the best. I would go and, oh, nah, maybe I don't like redheads. Maybe I like this. I like tan lines. I like this. I like that. I was like hunting for that like perfect video. And I would find the perfect video, but then it was like, because I'm a fucking addict, that perfect video still isn't enough. Even though it's like you said all of your fucking things that you wanted, you found that video that had all of that. The girl was like literally perfection, like your idea of like an 11 out of 10, and yet that wasn't enough. And so I would just hunt for like hours. I'd eventually, like I said, there would be times I would stop jerking my dick and I'd just be looking at porn, like trying to find, like almost like feeling sorry for myself, like fuck, this sucks. I can't find the perfect fucking woman. And I was doing that in real life with my girlfriend, with girls that we see, literally. Like, I'm ignoring all the amazing things about them, all the things that now that I'm clear from porn drive me fucking crazy. My girlfriend is like, maybe I didn't say that. My girlfriend is like 50 fucking times hotter right now than she was like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. Same with the girls that we're seeing. It's like I have a more realistic view of them, and I can appreciate, I'm more grateful. I didn't even say that. I'm more grateful for their positive qualities. I'm more grateful for like the things they do outside of the bedroom. I'm more appreciative of the shit they do in, like even just little things like they moan. Moans, oh my God, guys, moans fucking turn me on now. Moans never used to turn me on. A girl moaning was just like, oh yeah, whatever. She's just making sound. Now I hear the moan and it's like it hits me in my fucking core. It's like electricity through my fucking body. It gets straight into my dick and I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking hot. Like them fucking moaning turns me on. That watching them make out with each other turns me on. As it fucking should. It's two girls fucking making out. I can't believe there was a time. I can't believe for all of, before that didn't turn me on. Or it turned me on at the start, but then it quickly got boring. After like my third threesome, girls making out was just like kind of hot. Now it's like the hottest shit ever. Even me making out with Imogen. When Imogen comes over and she kisses me, I get hard. She just kisses me like, hey, how's it going? And I get fucking erect. Like a peck. A gentle kiss on the lips. I get fucking hard. Like, what the fuck? That never happened before. I get hard in pub. We go to the same gym together. We don't go together. But sometimes we see each other at the gym. And so, I see her at the gym. I go over, I'm like, hey, babe, like, what are you doing? And she kisses me, and I'm like, hard in the fucking gym. In public. You don't understand how fucking I never got hard in public, ever. I just never got an erection in public. I was too much of a dopamine fiend, too much of a porn addict. I would just never get turned on by that shit. Now it's like I'm fucking like chopped up. I'm fucking like stiffy. Like it's a fucking boner. Like what the fuck, guys? So I don't know. I really hope I'm getting across to you how life-changing this has been. I've missed probably half the points that I talked about with Imogen. Like this has just been a vomiting diarrhea fucking, I'm just vomiting the words out here because I'm still very much like figuring all the changes out. I'm sure in 3 months' time, I'm going to tell you guys like a million more things that I didn't even realize right now. Like I'm still realizing all of the differences. It's only been like 3 or 4 weeks, but holy fuck, guys. Like I said, this is the longest I've ever gone in my entire life without porn. And it has just been like, please, 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 if you take anything out of this video, it's one, if you have a porn addiction and when you're actually having sex with girls, it's like you're not actually there. You think you're there with the girl, but you're not. You're living in your head, or you're living in the future, or you're living in the world of kinks, or you're living in the world of like, I wish she was different. I wish she was better. I wish I could get that high. And then the second thing I want you to take is please, please, please try this yourself. Please, if you're struggling for how to actually do it, one thing that helped is I installed a porn blocker on my computer. I haven't actually I installed one on my phone, but then I uninstalled it. I haven't actually needed it on my phone. Like I feel fine at this point, but if you do look at porn on your phone or your computer, please install a porn blocker. There's one called Net Nanny is pretty good. There's another one called Custodio, which is spelled Custodio. They're both pretty good. There's a bunch of other ones. Please try this yourself, guys. Like legitimately, please fucking try this yourself. You have no idea how fucking amazing it is to not feel compelled, to not be an addict, to not be plugged into the fucking matrix. I think one of my mates said it best to me. He said, bro, when you look at porn, you're literally plugging yourself back into the matrix. You're doing exactly what they want. They being like normies or, you know, porn manufacturers or people who want you to be fucking unhappy, right? There's a lot of people in the world. I'm not saying there's a big fucking conspiracy of people trying to make you unhappy, but there are a lot of individual people who benefit from you being plugged into the matrix and not living your full life. Obviously, every single porn producer benefits from you being plugged into the fucking matrix. Pornhub benefits, society, you know, the higher ups benefit because then you're not competing against them. But you are just choosing to plug yourself into the matrix. I plugged myself into the matrix for what, like 15, 20 years at this point. Please don't do the same fucking thing. Please at least try. Know that even if you fail 100 times, look how many times I failed over the last 6 months. I'm only successful now in the last like 3 or 4 weeks. I watched porn like probably before that, like in the 6 months before that, probably like fucking 100 times or something. I don't know, 50 times, 100 times. And that was when I said I'm going to give it up. And I still fucking relapse like 50 to 100 times. So it doesn't matter if you relapse. What I would suggest doing, and this is something that really helped me, and it helped my friend who's 15 weeks clean as well, is I would take it day by day. And what I would try to do is set yourself little challenges. So I would say if you've never gone 3 days without porn, do 3 days and see how you feel. Then, you know, if you look at porn, like fine, it's not the end of the world. Then try 4 days without it. Then try 5. Maybe then you try a week. And eventually what will happen, or what you eventually get to, is what happened with me. I said to myself, I'm going to go 4 days without porn. I did that. And I was like, well, fuck, maybe I can, you know, it's the weekend now. I'm going to spend that time with Imogen and shit anyway. Maybe I can go like a whole week without porn. I get to the end of the week and I was like, oh, fuck. I made it a week. This is like, and by the way, a week is like the longest I've ever gone in like 10 years. You have no idea how often I watch porn. And so I got to the week and then I was like, could I do 2 weeks? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll set a challenge. If I fail, whatever, I failed. But like, how cool would it be to be able to brag to my fucking friends, hey, I did 2 weeks. So I did that. I don't know how, I fucking did it. I get to 2 weeks. I think it was the motivation of like being able to tell my friends. So I would recommend you have an accountability partner. Post on my fucking forums. Go to killyourintheloser.com/forums. Forums are free. Post on the fucking forums and get some accountability. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell the girls that you're sleeping with, tell your girlfriend, like tell your wife, tell fucking anyone, and have that accountability. And it's the motivation that you'll be able to brag to them. You're able to say, oh my God, I did 2 weeks. And they'll go like, good fucking job. That feels amazing. So, you know, I got to the end of the 2 weeks and then I was like, should I be really cocky and just go, I think I could do 3 weeks. Why the fuck not? Whatever. Why not? And I kept really busy. Obviously, keeping busy is super important. Make sure you have shit that you're doing, shit that you're working on, a mission that you care about. Spend plenty of time with your friends. Don't sit at home doing the things that you normally do that lead to porn. So don't sit at home bored. Don't neglect your sleep. It's very easy to look at porn when you're tired. Make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Don't, have a shit diet. When your diet is shit, you already feel like, oh, well, fuck it. I've already had a bad diet. I may as well fucking watch porn. Don't smoke too much weed or drink too much alcohol. Those are both like leaders. They're gateway drugs to porn. Because you go, well, I'm fucking drunk. I have no inhibitions. Fuck it. I'll watch porn. Or I smoked weed. I've already wasted the day. Whatever. I'm fucking doped out on weed. I can't really be productive anyway. I know some people can be, but a lot of people can't be productive on weed. Fuck it. I'm unproductive. Let's just watch porn anyway. Whatever. The day's already wasted. So, have accountability. I got to the end of the 3 weeks, and then at this point, I'm just like, oh my fucking God, I don't want to watch porn. Like literally, the urge is gone. You know, I said that at the start of this video. I'm not sitting there in that limbo of like, oh my God, I want to watch porn. Oh, fuck. No, it's like, I literally don't think of porn. In the last week especially, I've thought of looking at porn one time and I giggled. Guys, I literally out loud giggled like a fucking child. I was like, and I just started giggling because I'm like, why the fuck would I look at porn? What the fuck? Why would I look at porn? That's fucking weird, man. Like literally in my head, I was like, that's fucking weird. Porn is fucking weird. Why would I look at that? It's like a bunch of fake shit. It's like weird. Why don't I just go fuck my girlfriend? Or for those of you who don't have a girlfriend right now, or you're not sleeping with anyone casually, what you want to put into your brain is like, why don't I just go outside and talk to a cute girl? Why don't I install Tinder? Why don't I like finally get around to taking those pictures that I said I wanted to take, like better pictures for your Tinder? Why don't I go pay a photographer? Why don't I buy the fucking camera that Andy recommends? Just, you know, any fucking decent camera, DSLR camera, mirrorless camera. Why don't I buy a camera and go out and take some nice quality fucking amazing good photos of myself? Why don't I go to a fucking party? I'm always turning parties down because I feel like I don't belong. Fuck it. Why don't I go to a party and just see what happens? Why don't I just go to a cafe and if there's a cute girl, I'll just say, hey, I'm going to be nervous and terrified. Fuck it. Why don't I at the very least just walk around outside and look at some fucking women instead of the fake shit on the computer? Go look at some women outside and then come home and jerk off. Hey, that's fucking better. I would like you to talk to some of them and actually interact with them as a fucking human being. Don't jerk off forever. But hell, at least you're fucking going outside and looking at actual human beings and then coming home and jerking off is real. It's real. You have more chance of sleeping with them than anyone in the fucking computer or the fucking phone. So I think I'll wrap up. Please, please, please try this with me. Please. This is literally like, I can't even begin to explain to you how fucking life-changing this shit is, guys. It's fucking insane. Like, utterly fucking insane. Yeah, I think maybe in the next 3 months. So in 3 months' time, it would have been 9 months since I started. Like this whole giving up my 4 main addictions thing. At some point, I think I'll maybe at that milestone, I will do some sort of guide of like how to give up porn. I have done guides in the past. Go back and watch the previous 2 videos in this series where I talked about like, you know, the fact that I'm giving this shit up. I did talk a little bit about what to do, but that advice was coming from someone who had only minimized his porn addiction. And I did minimize it, you know. There was a time for many years where I was looking at porn literally every day for like 5 hours a day. I was like looking at it at work, in the bathroom and shit like that. And I did minimize it to about once every 3 days. But now in the future, if I do a guide, I think it's going to be a lot more like decent. Because, yeah, 3 months from now, that would be like 4 months of no porn. So, yeah, I'm super fucking happy, guys. I can't even tell you what my sex life is like. It's literally like I have a sex life again. I felt like I was really just going through the motions a lot of the time. And like sex was still fun, but it was more like there were times it was just like a thing you do. Now it's like it's a whole fucking adventure. It's like almost spiritual. Yeah, I mean I didn't even talk about that. I feel more connected to other human beings now. I feel like I'm not religious, but I am like a hippie. I'm a fucking woo-woo spiritual, you know, fucking person. So I felt more like connected to other people. That's how I'll phrase it like that. It feels like I'm more present when the chicks are there. They're more present with me. We're looking into each other's eyes and shit. I feel like I'm actually connecting to them as a human being rather than being in my own head. That's one of the biggest problems with porn is when you actually have sex, you're in your own head. You're not there with her. It's like there's a fucking wall between you and you can't actually reach out to her. You're touching her, but you're not actually reaching out to her and grabbing her and pulling her into your world. I feel like I'm now living in the space in between both of us. Like I'm actually there present instead of being back in my head, right? I'm there in the space between us. It's like a tangible place, like a thing. We're there together. We're connecting. It's fucking nice, guys. And it's really hot too. It's not just nice. It's really hot. Like the sex is so much fucking hotter. So, leave any comments if you got any questions. I'm on this one. Like, please leave comments. If you're thinking about, leave a comment and tell me if you're thinking about giving up porn, if you have given it up yourself, if you're a couple of days sober, like away from porn. You can talk about the other addictions as well, but I have a feeling most of the comments here will be about porn. Please, please, please comment if you want more, like if you have questions or you want to know like how to do this yourself. I gave you a few tips there, but like please, 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 I'm going to go in, I answer pretty much every comment anyway, but I'm definitely going to answer every comment on this video. Please, 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 reach out if you need help. go on the forums and make an accountability. I do have coaching as well. Maybe I should have mentioned that. Like one of the guys in my coaching group right now is giving up some of his addictions. Actually, pretty much everyone in the fucking group does. It's a big thing that I push. So I'll give you that one for free, guys. Like the best thing you can do for your productivity, whether that's business, like a lot of the guys in my coaching group are there for me to give them business advice. If it's business or if it is getting laid or fucking making friends or losing weight, whatever it is, you're infinitely more productive if you have less vices. I'm going to do a video coming up at some point called Stop Doing Dumb Shit if you want to be productive. And that's the number one tip that I've gotten that from so many of my mentors and so many people who are like, multi-millionaires and CEOs and shit. It's the number one like life hack. It sounds so simple, but if you want an amazing life or you want to crush your goals or you want to do great things, stop doing dumb shit. And porn was my biggest dumb shit. Porn was my dumb shit. Alcohol was too, caffeine still is, video games were, but porn was always my big dumb shit. It's the dumb shit that if I could just stop doing that, life is just infinitely easier. So, stop doing dumb shit, give up your addictions. And like I said, don't feel like you have to just immediately fix it. And if you relapse one time, you're a bad person and you failed. No. Look how many fucking times I relapse. It doesn't matter how many times you relapse as long as you eventually get there. Like I said, I got coaching. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. I'm happy to help you. I genuinely care about this shit. So, if you want help, please reach out. Otherwise, go join the forums, do this shit for free. Reach out to your friends as well. I would get as many accountability partners or mentors or people in your corner as you can, because I don't think porn addiction is something that you give up on your own. I really, there's too much shame and guilt and secrecy around it. And no one gives up an addiction in secrecy. You have to kind of put it out into the light so people can understand, they can help you, they can work with you. This shit's not meant to be tackled alone. So, coaching's there, forums are there, friends are there, go do all that shit. As always, guys, go crush your goals and stop playing with your fucking willy.